All right, everybody. It is episode number 10, I believe, of the Coach's Compass. Right? You got your boy, Coach Coop, my boy, Jay, here reporting live, as always, from Europe. So, guys, remember, hit like, subscribe, comment, and always turn on the reminders because every Tuesday at 8 a.m., we will be dropping a new episode of the Coach's Compass. And today, we have another special guest with us, our boy, Lukas Strong, out of the Czech Republic, out of Prague, former strength and conditioning coach for the Prague Lions, former player for the Prague Black Panthers, now is currently running his own program called the Prague Speed Academy. Ooh, Prague Speed Academy is something that you don't really hear much of here in Europe, and people that actually know how to coach it correctly and as coaching speed is Lukas Strong. And man, a huge resume of people that you have spent time learning from, but also people that you have spent time working with. Now, I had the opportunity to play this year with Shaz, and he has done nothing but speak highly of all the work you have done and all the stuff he has learned from you, not only just on the speed side, but the strength side, and just all the people that you're working with. You're working with hockey players, you're working with handball, you're working with football, you're working with what you guys call football, soccer too. But not only that, you got a chance to spend some time underneath Les Spellman. And if you don't know, I mean, for most of the people that are watching, they're big in this strength conditioning world. They're big in the speed world. Les Spellman is probably one of the top guys in the industry teaching speed over in America. And you got time to spend underneath him. So, Lukas, what got you into this?
Okay, first of all, I appreciate the invite here to talk with you. I gotta buy something for Shaz to talking that nice about me. First of all, from what you said, I'm a former football player in Europe, which is different. And as an undersized player, because I'm small, I had to work a lot on my training, on my speed, and I had no guidance. So I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned everything on my own. So I just opened up Google and tried everything online. And, of course, I have like certification in Czech Republic, but I studied everything from college coaches. Everything from my education was from States, and I think that separates me a little bit from other coaches in here in Prague. So, as a football player, the training is different than soccer player, or as we call it, football here, because it's more strength training, and we were not used to this in here. So everything changed for me, and I played 5 years in Black Panthers, and it was a huge experience. I gained a lot of friends, and then I just said I maybe like just strength training more than the football because I spent so much time in the gym and it became my life. So I just started 100% just working as a coach. As every coach, probably I start in commercial gym. Then I got some soccer players, some combat athletes, and then the circle was full when I came back to football and I connected with Prague Lions. I helped them with Czech title. We won the championship here. There, I met Shaz because he was quarterback for them. And for all, it changed my life because it's completely different. And for that experience with Les Spellman, as you mentioned here, it was all, I gotta say it was all done by a head coach of Prague Lions, who is not there right now. But Zach Harrod, we had a little deal that he took me into the States and he connected me with great people there. A lot of coaches who were working on their own, or USC coaches. So that was like Disney World for me because I was just studying it online, and then I saw it in my eyes. I was like, "Fuck, this is completely different." The atmosphere was great. So it was probably, I think it was a little bit not guaranteed that I'm gonna meet Les Spellman, but he was there on the UCLA campus. He was working with athletes and preparing them for draft. And as I said, it was all done by Zach Harrod, but he connected me with him, and I had the best possibility to watch him as he worked with those athletes. And that was something, I gotta say. But I was familiar with his work because, as I said, I studied online. So I knew his methods and what he's teaching. It's different. It's different to see it in your own, like to be there and see everything with your own eyes. That's something else.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of us, I mean, if you spend a little bit of time over here in Europe, you know who Zach is, former head coach of the Prague Lions. Shout out to him because all you really hear right now is bad things about him. But shout
Sorry,
out to him
guys,
for
it's like
helping
that
you.
right now.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of people don't know. We heard he went through a little bit of trouble with the Prague Lions, but fortunately, he was there to help you and take you to the States and be able to, get you in front of some of these important top people. Now, when you were over at USC and UCLA, what are some of the biggest differences you saw in the stuff that they have access to compared to what we have access to in the States?
No, the equipment is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The equipment is crazy. Those fields, like in Europe, it's not easy to get some where you can run. You have to rent the field. You have to pay for everything. You have to ask those soccer clubs if you can go there and train there. You kind of have to beg for the possibility to even start training there. The university has everything. And I think the biggest game changer there is because it's connected to the school. So for those players there, it's a chance to get some good scholarship or education on great schools. And here in Europe, we don't have it. So if you're going to high school, you have to travel across the city to get some training in club where you have to pay the fee. It's different. So the biggest thing I saw there was like, okay, the thing that is connected with the school makes everything different because they working hard because they want to, even if they don't make it as a football player, it can change their life. So that's the biggest difference here and in the States for me.
Now, with what you learned, obviously you spent time over there learning under Les. What have you taken from that and now brought back to what you're doing with the Prague Speed Academy?
Uh, he's a very charismatic guy. He's like calm. That was good for me. I liked it. That he was not yelling on the players and the level of details. The level of details he's working with them and a lot of things he can see just with his eyes. For me, it's still necessary to have the video so I can record the player as he's running and then in slow motion I can just see it. But he's so fast at analyzing the player who's running. As I said, the details, not just in the technique, but in the numbers. Like everything is measured, everything is data based. It was like very professional, and I just like, okay, this is not just like a couple of guys running sprints. The Q is not run fast, but he has so much knowledge. It was crazy. But as I said, the vibe, it was not like he was not yelling. It was friendly. That I like. So you can just put your music you like and be calm and just working on the details. Even if you are a professional player, I like that.
So what type of details did you think that he focused on more than like what you see normally focused on here in Europe? Because obviously, like we said, like it's different here and what they have access to, like the equipment, you have the speed gates, you have the catapults, they have all these different types of things that they can work with back in the stateside. And you're obviously taking a lot of those things and bringing them over here and using the detail, but saying also you need to use a little bit more video because you don't have the same eye that he has yet. But like, how are you measuring it, and what are you using to measure these, and what details are you focusing on?
The time I was there, it was before draft, so they were working a lot of 3-point stands. If you put European guy in 3-point stands, it's crazy. We don't know that. If you're not doing track and field here, you probably know that from your teams. We don't know how to do 3-point. But they were working on just on the stands for hours. Even just one step. Stands and one step can be one training. So that's the level of the detail. They can just do 100 of reps or just how to set up the 3-point stance before you start your 40-yard dash. That also he has that equipment as the timing system for sprints. That's what I said to myself, okay, I can buy that for Prague Speed Academy, which I found it when I came back to Czech Republic. We have some kind of equipment. We bought a timing system, and so we're measuring 10-yard sprints, 10-yard flies, 40-yard dash. We can do some profiling if you are good on acceleration or top speed, what you have to work on, put it in your program. Again, retest it, see if you got better. We gotta do what we can do with equipment we can buy. So we don't have that high level of equipment, but we still have something we can work with. And even just video is a great equipment. Everyone who has an iPhone can become like analyzing coach of sprints just with camera.
So when you're looking at max acceleration, max velocity, linear speed stuff, how are you seeing where somebody is like failing at or has a lag in and being able to build up that certain area? Because if we look at max velocity, we look at max acceleration, we look at top end speed, we look at ground contact, force production, all these different types of things that just go into running. Where you see somebody lagging at, how are you improving that area, and what type of drills are you putting them through?
First of all, you can see the times. If you know average time of your players, you can see if you are better at acceleration or top speed than others. That's how you can just really fast say, okay, you are good at it or not. Because I cannot use NFL numbers. They are different. So I had to make my own charts of what's average, what's below average, and what's good. Because I cannot just Google top 10 yards dash from NFL because it's not the same. This is like legit advice for European coaches. You gotta make your own standards with people you coach. So it took me a while, but right now I know what's good for Czech athlete at 28, like the age and the training experience and the sport. Like I can make my own charts. So if I just do the times, I can see if it's good, what's quality is good and what's not. It's also the technique. It's shout out to Coach Corey Chapman. He's a strength and conditioning guy from Stuttgart, and he showed me the view motion system. I don't know if you know it, but it's an AI which helped me to analyze the ground contact, airtime, stride frequency, stride length, and everything. That software helps a lot because you can do it on your own, frame by frame, but it's taking for hours. I don't have that time, so that software is great. So I can just take video of that sprint, put it in that software. It helps me with analyzing the times and all those numbers. And again, I can make my own standard, like what's the good times, seconds for ground contact for my guys, and then I just redo the program. And you asked about the drills, so probably a lot of less stuff from his programming, like resisted sprints, different position for starts, and probably the biggest change for every athlete I train is that you actually go and train sprints. A lot of guys just spend their time in the gym. If they contact me like, hey, look, I want to be good in speed training. So, okay, we actually have to go outside and train the speed twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. I don't know how much time you got, but squats doesn't make you a good sprinter. So it's different.
I'm glad I'm glad you say that, because some people will go in there and say they're doing speed training and never run fast,
Yeah.
or never go out and run at their fastest capability. They'll just do some some A skips, some plyometrics, and then, all right, well, I can run fast from here. Never tested again. I know
Yeah.
Jay experiences that a lot.
All those drills you said are great, but it's just like part of the training, and you have to actually run fast to get faster.
Right.
With that being said,
So
I kind of wanted to ask you because I've actually been talking about it with some of my coaches that I consider mentors. I think personally for me, when I first got into strength and conditioning early in my career, I hung my hat on the weight room, and the weight room would get us strong and the weight room would get us fast. Obviously, I don't have that train of thought anymore. But what are some things with regards to speed that you once believed that you feel like you've changed your mind on, or, you know, like just some either philosophy on speed that you maybe believed in the past that you no longer believe, or ideas on speed that you believed in the past that you no longer agree with?
In the recent last year or maybe 2 years, focus a lot on Olympic weightlifting I think those explosive lifts really helps, because back in the day I was doing a lot of just squats, and you can spend a lot of time as a powerlifter in the gym. And just the number of your maximum weight for your squat doesn't mean you're gonna be fast. It helps. It helps to get stronger. Don't get me wrong, but you cannot do power clean slowly. So, and you can see on Instagram a lot of coaches like debating if loaded jumps versus weightlifting. I just say do both. You can do both in your training. Just one is harder on teaching. But you as a coach, make your own progressions, and if you got young athletes, teach them. So I spend a lot of time with them on just basic variation. You don't have to do full snatch with them, but almost everyone can do high pulls. So that's probably something I changed a lot in the last 2 years. And you can see it, probably you two guys know it from those high schools or universities in States. You are doing a lot of weightlifting there. But here, if you take soccer player, 15 years old, and you teach him power clean, no one else in his team doing that. So
How hard is it for you to implement those Olympic lifts, and how much do you trust your athletes that aren't with you on a regular basis to do those Olympic lifts? Because I mean, power cleans are kind of complex if you like fully break it all the way down for all the progressions. Like, yeah, we've been doing them for years, and hang cleans and all that stuff, and that's simple to us. Like, it's second nature. But you get, like you said, a 15-year-old soccer player coming in, and maybe he's only with you twice a week. How hard is it to teach that, and how much do you trust your athletes out of being with you to actually do those things?
I think everyone can do it with empty barbell. That's the thing you gotta explain to them, that it doesn't have to be about weight in the beginning. Like, you can spend 3 months just with empty barbell before you're doing your regular trainer. So if you have team training, for example, I'm not there, you got your own trainer there, you can just pick up the 20 kilos barbell and do, I don't know, 3 sets of 5 hand cleans just with empty barbell, or as I said, some high pulls or regressions, simple things, or power shrugs. You don't even know how many soccer player doesn't know just shrugging movement. So you can just like pick one little details from the whole lift, and he can do that. He can do just, I don't know, snap downs, just body weight, but you can just like do that footwork you are doing in power cleans. He can do that on his own. And another thing, if I'm using a video on the field, he can record himself when he's on his own and send it to me, and I say, okay, that's good, load it up next time. Or I say, that's trash, do trap bar next time.
At least you're honest with them. And you said you started off in the commercial sector, right? When you were getting started in this whole strength and conditioning side of things. How hard was it for you to navigate to be a team to find you to be their strength and conditioning coach, and now you have all these athletes coming, like, asking for you? How hard was it to build up your name and like get things rolling?
It took some time, but the first thing, of course, I had normal clients like managers, gen pop clients. Besides that, I just asked my teammates, hey, you want some training? It can be for free. I said, okay, if you like it, do you want me to share it online on Instagram, make some stories? And just some time it took, but it paid off. Just a lot of time spent in the gym with friends. I helped them. They didn't have to pay me, so they just like, I don't know, I'm buying dinner for you. Let's get some snack. And I taught him squat. That's how it started. But I was 20 years old, so I didn't have family or wife or anything. I could do that. So I even say now to coaches, just get one player, give him some deal. You don't have to take money for him. I don't care. Just make something, because results is is your biggest sale. If one guy in the team likes your training, he refer and he says to his teammate, hey, come there. We can train 3 at once, and he doesn't want more money. We can just like, everyone's gonna chip in and we can be there together. And that's how you build your clients. So with Prague Lions, I started with one guy. I was in the gym, I was doing my own training, and I was playing Madden on my phone. So he was like, "Okay, you know football?" I was like, "Yeah, I know football." And we did 2 months of training, and he was resharing my stories on Instagram. And then other players joined in, and from one player it was 5 players, and then it was 10 players. And when it was 10 plus, like Harold invited me to training because he was like, "Okay, you got half of the team. Let's work together."
Yeah, you got my whole team working there. Like, hey, I need to see what you're doing.
Yeah. And I was connected with them, but I was not hired by them. I just worked with them. So he told me the schedule. He told me what training he's gonna do, how the training camp is gonna be set up and everything. And the players were paying me, not the team. So I just worked with so many players that I was working with Prague Lions.
That's what's up. So you look at the. So you've seen the shred mill. You know what the shred mill is, the one that Tony Villani uses and everything like that. And you look at facilities that are over in the States. Do you think we here in Europe have the infrastructure to what it takes to have stuff like that? Like to have a facility that's just for athletes?
It's building up. I hope so. Like in my social bubble, I just work with athletes, so I think yeah. I don't think you can make huge amount of money because
Right.
it's still like specific. But we said Europe is full of soccer players. Soccer players are good paid players. They they're not broke.
Oh, we
So
know. We know. Because you also have hockey too, right?
a couple of guys. I'm not focusing mainly on hockey because if my like a lot of training is done on a field, hockey players doesn't like they don't like running, so they don't think sprints are necessary for them. So I'm attracting more soccer players than hockey players, but a couple of them works with me.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also a big time sport, not only in America but here in Europe. So it's not like they're hurting either. So there could be a potential that there's a day that there is a big enough facility. Now with all the guys that you've worked with, not only the athletes but the coaches that you've worked alongside with, could you see one day, there being a big camp, like a big speed camp with all these guys that come from America and here in Europe that's focused on speed, working together to run a camp?
Probably, I think they can fill up one camp easily. I mean, even in Prague, if I just share on Instagram, we got speed camp. We got people there, so it's getting more popular. If those coaches are connected with right people in Europe, they can have it full for sure.
I mean, they're
If,
connected with you, man. So it looks like you the guy to go to.
I said, biggest thing that's attracting more people is a result.
Yeah.
If you have one soccer player and you really make him fast and you share it online and he is telling about you other people, you're gonna attract more people. Results sales the most.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, before we get into our last little segment, because we're going to add in a new segment for you, Lukas, you're going to be the first one that does this for us today. But before we get into it, one piece of advice you would have for any new or old coach that's just now getting into this strength and conditioning speed side of the world or has been in it, what would be your best piece of advice for them?
Education is important, but you gotta go in the trenches. You gotta really train those people, make mistakes, learn from them, repeat, and make it better next time. That's just how you learn it. If I look at my trainings in 5 years ago, segment, it was not good. It was different, but that's how you learn. If my training will be same in 5 years from now, it's not good situation. I have to improve too. I have to learn more. I have to gain more people. I have to evolve as a coach. If you are still the same, that's not good. So just start. That's the
Always
most
be learn.
important advice. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
just start.
that's definitely one thing we've heard from a lot of coaches is to continuously be learning throughout the whole process and never feel like you already have it all figured out. Because I mean, Jay spoke about it before. I've spoken about it before. What we did 5, 7, 8 years ago definitely isn't what we're doing now because we had to evolve. You had to change with the times, but also you had to become a better coach. Like you can't demand athletes to try to get better and you yourself as a coach not be wanting to get better.
Yeah.
So
And also
we
just,
resonate with that.
yeah. And another advice probably is it's good when you actually care about those athletes. They are not just numbers in your gym. If you like, for example, Shaz, we were talking about him. I can say he's my friend. He's not just client in the gym. So if you care about those people, they care about you too, and they coming to those trainings and they like you, you're all set up. So educate yourself as a coach and actually care about those people you're training with.
That's awesome. So our last segment, right? We're going to do 90 seconds. It's going to be one word answers only, right? So
Okay.
the questions are going to be super simple. They could either be football related, they could be life related, anything like that. They're super random questions, but it's going to be 90 seconds on the clock. You got one word answer. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do this.
All right, here we go. First one, favorite post-workout snack?
Burrito.
Best coach in the industry?
Me.
Yes, sir.
Favorite NFL team?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Pizza or burger?
Burger.
Favorite ELF team?
Prague Lions.
Fastest athlete you trained in Europe?
Adam Žuželka.
Best recovery tool?
Burrito.
What do you prefer, combine training or off-season training?
Off-season training.
Would you rather have an athlete that comes in super developed and needs minimal coaching, or a super underdeveloped athlete that needs a lot of attention?
The second one.
Would you rather own your own facility or be a part of a team with the best coaches in the industry?
My own facility.
What is your number one flaw as a coach?
Flaw?
Yeah.
Sorry, what does it mean?
Flaw means like,
mistake?
an issue that you have.
I don't know. That's the flaw. I don't know.
And last one, who's faster, you or Shaz?
Jazz is faster.
And that is it.
He's getting old. He's getting old.
He's getting old. Hey, you said it, not me. I saw the video you posted of him running. He still looks like he's got a little bit of wheels on there. Lukas, we appreciate you coming on, bro. Man, I can't wait to get up to Prague. Obviously, you guys are playing the Enthroners too, so hopefully I'll be able to come through and check out that game. Well, you're not playing them, but you'll be in Prague when they're playing the Prague Lions. So hopefully I'll be able to come through and check that one out. And then maybe we get a session. I definitely want to get one in person to see what it's like, to train underneath Lukas with all the stuff you've got going on. Anybody that's checked out the Prague Speed Academy, go ahead and give him a follow. Follow Lukas Strong. He's doing a lot of great work over there in Prague. And always remember, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned every Tuesday as we drop a new episode at 8 a.m. And that is episode 10.
Thank you guys. It was great.
Appreciate you.